Hello, it's everyone's least favorite mod, Delta, and today I'm here to present y'all the special little treat. So as you know, we haven't exactly been keeping up with our weekly recaps thanks to some people. So to make up for it, me and Zoe are here today to give y'all a mega recap of everything we've missed. We hope you'll enjoy!
Hello, it's me, Zoe, here to bring you your Match of the Week Ultra Recap for weeks 4 through 8. I selected these because they're bangers, without, any sugarcoating. All of these went pretty down to the wire, a lot of twists in between, some heat tech, and I'm probably just gonna review what happens game by game. So yeah, let's get into it. First, we are starting off with our week 4 rendition of Delta versus Brownie, or Milk Chocolate, which does go the full distance, as you might expect. Pretty expected lineups on both sides, honestly. Smeargle is always really funny pick, and Crobat's kind of out there, but without further ado. We lead off with a Smeargle lead, because what else? Holt to get that safe U-turn off. And Nuzzle's kind of a coverage play, because it just kind of covers all the options. But we are going to pretty much reveal right away that this is, in fact, Hazard Smeargle. But actually not scared to keep just laying on the hazards in the face of the Zorthworm at all, because he is packing that haze, so really just changes the game plan here. Milk realizes he should just be focused on getting the hazards off, which is the right call. Revealing the Stone Axe, of course, as well. Opts to Whirlwind out, maybe to catch the switch on the Defog. Kingambit's gonna use this opportunity to put up a sub. Knock the boots, I presume, yeah. But the Whirlwind is going to phase the sub right out into Iron Crown. He's going to pivot again with the Volt Switch. And now we're back to Crobat as it roosts up. This Mandibuzz has been super unbreakable for Milk pretty much this whole season. But in comes Nasty Bad, the Skywalker favorite. And this Gastrodon is just not going to tank it whatsoever. Even the nice tech Giga Drain crit there. Going to live from the Draco Meteor, and Delta's in the driver's seat right now. This with the right confusion luck, this Crobat could legit just end the game, minus a sucker or two. We will see that he opts to go for the safe Mandibuzz instead, but does get the poison on the Sludge Bomb. And from here, it's just kind of a game of not missing Hurricane, which Delta is going to prove how proficient he is at missing all of his attacks. Again, a second Hurricane miss. Mandibuzz is going to be able to clean it up with Foul Play. But that was a nearly game-ending position for Delta right there, so it's going to take a lot of work from Milk to pull this back. Technically, even game, Smeargle, if you really count Smeargle. Going to try and get these hazards up again. With the poison on Mandibuzz, really just able to force a situation where you can't really defog and keep yourself healthy at the same time. So we are opting for the Roost there. And Delta just getting that third layer of spikes, that's all that really matters. I'm gonna defog them away, but Poison's chipping away, running out of Roosts. Opts to switch into the Typhlosion instead. We're gonna get our single layer of spike before I presume this Typhlosion, blows it up. In comes Ursaluna and Orthworm to cover. The Earthquake is going to heal Orthworm right back up from that spike, but this one is packing close combat, so Iron Defense, the Orthworm probably going to be able to KO with a Body Press, as usual. CC's just kind of get as much damage as you can, Para's helpful for that. Still needs one more CC though, so, it gets the full Para again, so this Orthworm is going to die. But, Ursaluna's defense are definitely in the single digits now, so this Bisharp is going to have no issues taking advantage. Especially with the low kick tech. Super sick. This is still a super good position for Delta, though. Just really needs to make the most of this Gouging Fire. It should be healthy enough to win, just right now, honestly. Typhlosion Hisui comes out, Frisk the Boots. Going to switch into Gambit, actually, into this Focus Blast. Guess he just wanted to sack the Gambit for the health. Iron Crown coming in. And Volt switching into Gouging Fire. Which does take this Focus Blast, and now it's actually kind of looking like... now it's looking like it really can't win against Sucker Punch anymore. Yeah, the Typhlosion does go down, but you really should have done that the first time, because there's one, and there's two. Yeah, no. Don't need Supreme Overlord to rob with the Sucker Punch, and Milk proving just that. Definitely the swinging point of the game being this Volt Switch right here. Obviously, Tachyon Cutter was not going to pick up the KO here. It was a tough call, and I'm sure that from this point, earlier in this point, some decisions were pretty much predetermined, but that was definitely the swinging point for this one, yeah. Milk's just able to pack away with two suckers here. Really, really well played from both. Definitely went the full distance, but we are going to move on to our Week 5 now, which is Bebzy versus Ryan from Week 5, yeah, as I already said. No reason not to just get right into it. There's really nothing too strange here. These are just like some heavy hitters from Bebzy's side and Ryan's. Got Zama, Powerhouse, is just going to absolutely murder Tentacruel in Cool Blood in Detroit. Like, yeah, no. Gets the T-Wave on the Morgrim. And the CC is also going to send it to Mars, because Zamazenta is balanced. Parrot is helpful though. This Mimikyu is going to get even more chances to set up. Not going to get the full paralysis though. Breaks the disguise, but with the Para Mimikyu, as long as it doesn't miss his play rough, yep. Gets the Oko on Zama, pretty huge. Down like a lot, but gonna have to force a Tinted Lens first impression here. Defense drop, definitely. Lando, smart play. One of the only mons in this format that could actually really tank that well. Gonna get some free rocks for your troubles. So, gonna get the Toxic on the Lando from the Registeel switch in. The greedy knock from Ryan, trying to bait the switch, is going to get rock set up for it. But it will take the KO with Earthquake. In comes Zygarde. There's 1,000 arrows. And from here, it's kind of just looking like it's falling apart. But with the Intimidate, definitely gonna have to force some action here. Getting the knock. No more boots, gonna limit how much this low kicks can switch in first impression, especially after that U-turn. And the Rocky Helmet damage, it's gonna be can only switch in one more time from here. And Shell Smash Poltegeist is on the board here. Outrage is not gonna pick up the KO, but we are gonna see the Strength Stab, which killed a full. Kind of losing this war of attrition though, unless you got Wisp on your side. Outrage, not going to be able to do the job. As we see the substitute, just a sliver of health. Presumably going to take one more strength stab for its troubles. The struggle is not going to be breaking the sub anytime soon. Makes you wonder if this Poltegeist actually has an attacking move, but there is Shadow Ball. Behind the sub, honestly, kind of benefited from that situation, really profited. Things could actually turn around from here. Gonna sub, reveal the sub as well. That's a huge swinging point. Wasting a turn on the Wisp there. Gonna have to break the sub there. Uniking gonna try and sub again. These subs going so crazy that my dogs downstairs are even pitching in on the commentary side of things. Shadow Ball is gonna pick it up though. First impression surely gets the knockout though. Yeah, no, okay, I'm a liar. I'm actually a liar. And now this is going to strength stab. Yeah. This is actually looking a lot closer for Ryan now. Here comes the knock. There's the sub. It's looking like a Blaziken versus Slurpuff kind of end game, folks. Rocks damage. Here's Gleam. It is faster. And Blaziken's gonna have to get the job done on its own. But from the leftovers, we're feeling this is probably defensive Slurpuff. Yeah, game looks to be pretty over from here. There's the Protect. Nothing Blaziken can really do here, as he just pretty much has to not have an aneurysm on his client, and he should be able to win this. You know, I'm just gonna do us all a little bit of a favor. And you know, the best part is that he broke Item Clause, because this has Life Orb and this presumably did too. But it was a banger set and they didn't replay it, so we're counting it. And we're going to move on to Week 6. This is probably my personal favorite match of the season. There's just a lot of layers that went into this. I also helped Specs prep, which, you know, is a bit of a helpful thing here, but get some insider knowledge. But we are just going to start. Really nothing surprising from either of these players. The lead Golurk into the Iron Valiant. Instant Cobra proc. And we're just going to get some damage on the board. No rocks, just going to Poltergeist. Revealing that Shadow Ball, likely to deal with the Petra run. Doubles as a great answer to Golurk there. Yeah, now the Stomphan just has to eat that Mist Ball. Very AV'd Primarina coming in, but getting the special attack drop is pretty good. Especially if you have the another special attack drop, the ideal switch in Petra run for this Prim. Parting shot out, catch the pivot, very nice. Here comes Obstagoon, gonna put on a lot of pressure. Just gonna murder Donphan. Yep, this is Iron Valiant. Baiting for the double, but yeah, no, the obstruct, I don't honestly know why you would press obstruct there, but the double accomplished what it set out to accomplish anyway, so, you know. There's the Ice Beam breaking the Terra Shell. Taunt, there's Rapid Spin. Tropicos maybe, I don't actually know if it's able to outspeed Deoxys, but we're not even going to see because we're swinging on Prim now. The T-Bolt coverage coming in. There you go. Oh my goodness. That roll was tragic. And the Torrent boost, like Bebsy points out. That's a tragic roll. I mean, Petron does get to clean up here, but that is the difference between having a Pagos and not. And here's Bats. There's Parting Shot, gonna lessen the damage of the SD. And go packing close combat, probably specifically for this Bax. Oh, I guess the Magnezone too, huh? Yeah. The Scale Shot. It's effectively Dragon Dance to now, which is pretty funny. Not gonna go for another one though. In comes Scarf with the Mist Ball. Now see that as Scarf Latios. Now we're just gonna keep pressing Mist Ball. I guess so. We're gonna have a bit of a war of attrition here, which is gonna leave us down to a likely Valiant Magnezone versus Pecharunt Steela endgame. Nice crit. Here comes Magnezone. Does run out of Mist Balls actually, because of the pressure from Deoxys, so now we're just gonna come in with Steela. As Magnezone reveals that it is faster than Steela. And yeah, this is now not a winnable game for Specs, especially after that recovery. So there goes the 8-0 Dream, but beautifully played from both players. Definitely had a crazy endgame there. Like this, from this point onward, it really could have gone either way. Like there's so many possibilities, like branches here. Like maybe you go Pecharunt or Celesteela on this, or you're scared of T-Bolt, like because you know Ice Beam, probably Bolt Beam kind of coverage. I don't actually think it was T-Bolt, but like a valid fear nonetheless. But still a really great match. This speed creep on Magnezone was really insane. Definitely won SHC the whole thing, because you know Valiant was, you know, on Death's Door. Other than that, you know, we can move on to week 7, which is another Milk Chocolate set, because I guess he's just kind of a magnet for banger sets. And SHC from last time joining us to kind of make the perfect fusion. We're gonna hop into it. Tauros on Tauros action. But of course, our good Cantonian Tauros does not want any part of the Paldea smoke, so it's gonna switch into Donphan, who still takes a hefty chunk. Free rocks. Earthquake doing absolutely nothing. The Shed Shell knocks, so now I guess Magnet Pull Magnezone can trap and kill that Orthworm. Here comes the troublemaker Persian Alola, actual piece of shit Pokemon, just loves to cause mayhem. Tailwind Enamorus into the Play Roughness. Oh, now we're Calm Mind. Another Play Roughness. Oh goody. Yeah, this Prim is looking stacked. Get a bit of superpower for your troubles, but yeah, no, with the paralysis, it is able to pick up that KO. Another substitute's coming up to block the Clear Smog drop. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but like, regardless, this is now a super bad position for Milk. Yeah, this Prim is just going to set up a ton of Calm Minds. So, okay, we're taking some initiative. We're gonna switch into the Mandibuzz, but yeah, Draining Kiss is gonna, like, despite the defensive vest, that Mandibuzz is worse for wear already, and that's one of his more defensive mons. So, gonna set up another sub for your troubles. Crit Brave Bird. You know, maybe he just sees it in his best interest to get that little bit of health back with Draining Kiss. Back to square one. Here comes Tauros. It is packing the Wild Charge, so yeah. Okay, so this isn't, you know, not a total game over situation. But we're back to Orthworm versus Tauros. No Body Slam Para. Back to Persian. We're really just trying to spread Para as much as we can. You know, as I say it. Para for rocks, not a bad trade. Gonna get some Para flinch action going. Dark Pulse. We're not gonna have any of that. This is Spadef investing Gastrodon, going to just eat everything this person wants to do. Earth Power drop as well. I guess you just recover here, right? Yeah. Yummers. And yeah, probably just, you know, Scald for your troubles. Really good recovery from Milk. That Prim looked like it was actually going to end the game. Back's SDing up. But we do know this is Clear Smog, so no dice there. Back to Tauros. We're just kind of leave. Rocks on Earthworm. Trailblaze. Not giving the speed boost because of sheer force, I presume. So, yeah. That is actually going to matter here, because now you're not faster than this Tauros. I mean, intimidated anyway, but gonna have to give up the Dawn Fan in exchange. Just treasure that Tauros more. But now it's hurting. It's likely scarfed. I don't actually know if we saw it do a different move after the Trailblaze, but regardless. That is a Focus Blast to the Kisser. I think that, yeah, you just have to, you just time to play not miss Focus Blast. Everyone's favorite game. And there's one. Just needs one more to swing this back. But no. And we do know that this is Scarfed, so this backs, I think this is naturally faster than backs anyway. Yeah. Really no chance at the end there, but super interesting endgame. Seeing that Prim get super set up. Very scary situation. Like when I was first watching this to pick it for match of the week, I legit thought like maybe this was kind of where the game ended. But the Wild Charge did, you know, swing it back. So it really doesn't matter how set up you get, it's just how you use it. So Milk was able to swing that back after the KO to a 3-0. Quite the comeback. But we're going to move on to our last one, Week 8, which is Ryan, again, from Pepsi's game, versus BH. We're going to have Lando versus Chomp. Maybe a Rock Handshake. There's one Rock. Oh, there's Earthquake. We do not want a handshake. We want violence. Beautiful U-turn on the calling out the Gligar switch. Now Cincino's here. I guess you tidied up. Yep. Goldengo should definitely tank a knock, especially for Colbert. We're just gonna make it rain. That Cincino is going to explode. There's Blaze. The Psyshock coming out, probably specifically for that Blaziken. Guess the Flare Blitz. Was kind of scared for it. I thought Ryan was going to U-turn and explode, but good to see that it got to kill the gold after all. It's going to get murdered by that Garchomp too, though. Breaks the disguise. No point in switching and letting it set up. Trick Room comes out. Remember, he's about to take half his health from Helmet and such, yeah. Here comes Blue Hawaii Gligar. Oopsie. Yeah, I think we're just going to stall out Trick Room here. No reason not to. Ryan recognizes that. He wants to SD. Get as much pressure as he can. Big smack, but I think this is another roost. Yeah, good call out on BH. Maybe even recognizing that the Life Orb is going to kill it. Hydro Pump, most of its health. This is packing Earthquake. And there's the Pump miss, so Gligar is going to clean this up. Here comes Lando. Stone Edge for the knockout. Nice crit. Fire Blast is not going to get anywhere near KOing, so Infernape is just going to explode. And now it's down to Comfey and Venomoth. So actually, lead is kind of dissipating for BH a little. U-turn on the Calm Mind, chance to get it going, but I just don't see a world where this breaks the Arcaludon. But yeah, especially if it's physical, what a live. What a live. Draining Kick's actually doing a lot more damage than I thought. Maybe I'm too much of a Comfey doubter, but there is the Heavy Slam. Here is a Venomoth. Doobie Wop. Gonna Quiver Dance up. We don't care about your Heavy Slam. And now for Super Venomoth Blast. Gonna just murder that Arcaludon with that Tinted Lens. And now it's down to if we can pick up this KO with the Sludge Wave. But it's a bit too little too late, and Ryan is gonna clean it up with an Earthquake. Really close game. Lots of back and forths. But these were definitely the matches of the week for weeks 4 through 8. Super exciting stuff. This commentary was obviously not scripted and kind of off rip, so I hope you still enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed commentating it. And if you were featured and you lost, I hope you don't like come to my house with pitchforks, but that's all I got for you. So I'm gonna hand it back to Delta now, and I'll see y'all later.
And now, for everyone's favorite part of the show, it's Cook of the Week!
Welcome to Cook of the Week, where the only thing that works worse than our stoves are our smoke alarms. Starting us off strong, we have a generational cook with Mirror Herb Swagger Liepard. Combined with Unburden, this set would go on to sweep the rest of Straw Hat's team. Next up, Jeez gave us possibly the funniest interaction of the whole season by just stealing Toxic Orb from Anna Kim's Gliscor. And of course, we cannot forget, we cannot leave out the fact that we got to watch a baby get their first taste of bloodshed with Toffee's Clobopus beating the shit out of a Chansey. And as if the babies weren't hungry enough, Strando's Trapinch would go on to 1-up Clobopus by getting 2 kills the very next week. Alongside it, we have a not as funny, but definitely still very creative Will-O-Wisp and Strength Sap set on Ryan's Poltegeist that would go on to nearly turn around the entire game in its own right. On week 7, River gave us the incredible Blunder Policy Hydro Pump Keldeo, and Crimson gave us Natural Gift Acrobatics Ambipom to ripple Hull and Rance's team. Finally, week 8 had KDA going back to their old stall ways by using Mean Look Mischievous to trap and kill their opponent's Tinkaton in probably the most agonizing way possible. Well, with the kitchen reduced to ashes, this concludes this season's Cook of the Week. Thank y'all so much. I'll pass it on to Zoe now with the award ceremony.
Hey, it's me, Zoe. Thanks, Delta. Like you said, now that the kitchen here at Indigo has been thoroughly abused and mangled by you mad scientists, all that's left for us to do is see what your devious dishes added up to in this season's edition of the award show special. Wow. I mean, I've been doing the award show ceremony these past few seasons, so I'm no stranger to what lurks in the depths of Indigo heat, but this cursed season seems to have brought out some of the most evil strategies we've had the pleasure of rotting our eyes looking at, so yeah, I guess without further ado, let's kick it off with our first award. To start us off, we have Seed 1, the award for the top dogs in each div. We're opening off with one of our more prestigious ones, as the race for number 1 in each div was actually super tight the entire way through. Rising to number 1 among our toughest competition though, we have Specs Gastro sporting a 7-1 record, only dropping a single game to SHZ in the home stretch, and is now his best performance to date, taking a solid diff lead over Fridge 2 to close out the season, so shoutouts to Specs. But next up in Okie Dokie Div, RNZ joins the rare few coaches to achieve a perfect 8-0 record. This first place was actually still pretty down to the wire though, because another coach Strando was also able to get the perfect run, making it a tiebreaker from RNZ's diff to clutch it out for him, so congratulations to both of them still. But of course, last but not least, for our opening award, Monkey Dory coach Umemi barely scrapes out the gold medal, being exactly 1 diff apart from the runner-up Heels Good with the very same record, so definitely the tightest race we've had in low div, like maybe ever, so huge shoutouts to Memi for coming out on top. Though it is time to indulge in a little bit of bloodshed with one of our most stacked kill counts to date, because nearly every mon in the top 10 of kill leaders across all the docks scored at least double-digit knockouts, which is kind of insane. But starting us off for our highest kill count award is yet another high div kill tie, same as the last 2 seasons. I have absolutely no idea how this happens almost every damn time, but we'd still like to shout out Fridge's Greninja and Specs' Latias for cleaning house. Moving on to Dogi though is where things really get messy, because Strando wasted no time using Zama's insane potential to level the rosters of literally every team in the draft. 19 KOs is a really insane total. It's only 3 off of the all-time record, so serious kudos to Strando for pushing Zama to its limits. But not far off from that is Tonkensa's monstrous Azumarill, only down 2 from Zama at 17. Really able to put themselves in a position to start clicking buttons with their classic Azu pick, and the results speak for themselves, so congrats to Tonk. Our next award is kind of in a similar vein, so we can kind of speed right through it, but the Survivor Award is up next. It's meant to showcase mons that got big KOs but lived more than like the nuclear bombs, but spoiler alert, all of those monsters never died anyway because the game was usually over, so whoopsies. Although Greninja did have 1 less death than Latias, so I guess it does break the tie technically. So we're just gonna move on from that. We got our longest season win streak award, as you might be able to guess. A lot of the top coaches were also able to keep the snowball rolling all the way to this medal too. But rest assured, things are actually gonna shake up from here on out. So still congrats to these coaches, but got some spice coming, because now we got one of my personal favorite awards to hand out, and it's the free agents of the season, otherwise known as the Mons, who got picked up after the draft was over in the trades channel. To the surprise of nobody, picking up an entire Iron Valiant tends to do a team pretty damn well, so it was a no-brainer to give this one to SHZ for picking it up to juice the power of the squad. But getting into matchup-specific trades, GTO and mid-div picked up a personal favorite Heliolisk that ended up single-handedly walling a Basculegion with its dry skin and normal typing to win GTO the game, so I had to choose it for this award. Congrats, GTO. And in Monkey Dory, not many impactful trades actually happened, to be honest. There was a lot of cool picks and swaps, but nothing really made a splash, quite like Basculegion did. And to be honest, seeing Vey just switch the gender of her Basculegion was insanely hilarious, so, way too funny to not pick for this, so congrats, Vey. Another banger of an award we hang out is called 7th Mon. It's to recognize the Mons that aren't really staples of the squad, but they come in, clutch for some niche matchups. And I do normally try to avoid giving myself a pat on the back with these shows, but to me, my good buddy Drapion seemed to fit the bill pretty perfectly for this. Only around for 3 matches and put up solid numbers in each, so, what more do you want? But now we actually get to talk about one of my personal favorite appearances in this whole draft. River's Firo is absolutely iconic. Seeing this 1-pointer in team preview absolutely had Okidogi coaches sweating and questioning their lives, and they were kind of right to fear it, because the Power Herb Sky Attack combo River cooked actually kind of made it worth it, so serious kudos to River. Love this Firo. Rounding out our feathered duo, though, is Jay's Murkrow, who put on its best Togekiss cosplay once in a while and pestered the ever-living hell out of everything in front of it, pretty much just everything. So yeah, very funny, 10 out of 10, no notes. But now, here we are at one of our staples in the Biggest Brain Award, really aiming to reward the most crackhead of cooked sets. For this one, we just really encouraged you to burn the water, and you all delivered beautifully, as you can see. But blasting out of the gate and shooting the kitchen into orbit, Shiny managed to get a 5-0 with Mirror Herb Liepard copying the boost from its own swagger, which is, it's an all-timer for Indigo sets for sure, so huge congratulations to Shiny for making this shit work. Actually, how did that happen? And I'll be honest, this next one in mid-div didn't really work remotely, but it was way too funny to see to not give it up for Trick Room Kecleon. It takes the Biggest Brain medal, if only because the vision was so diluted that it almost actually worked with Melmetal. Last but certainly not least, probably the most actual biggest brain set, Denong showed us the power of trapping Swampert using Sand Tomb to get free rocks and pivot for its team, which was actually a good innovation that was consistent and effective and really sick to see. So congrats Denong for the master chefery you displayed pretty much this whole season. We are going to go back to our stats-based awards though. Got greatest upsets. May not have stuck it out until the very end, but Oatmeal did give us a nail biter against Delta early on in the season, getting a couple crucial illusion 50-50s right to swing the game in their favor. Really just broke his ankles, to be honest. Next up in Okidogi though is Anakin's dub over Flameburst early on in the season as well. All things considered, this one was also a nail-biter until Reveroom just kind of set up and killed everything, so shoutouts to Anna. Now we got the real Dark Horse Ren in Monkey Div, who started off the season with a godlike Guzzlord first pick and was facing a pretty steep hill to climb to actually get on the board, but managed to sign a contract with Demon Reginald to sweep up Banana's roster for the win. Registeel might have put in the work, but I had to put Guzzlord on the slide because it's way too funny. These next two are going to be our lightning round as our best newcomer and best returning player. They're solely based on placement, and as you can see, with 2 8-0 records from both a returning and new player, this one is pretty squared away. So congrats to these two again for really just working on this whole div, to be honest, but we can move on now. Saved our best for last with our nickname of the season awards. You all delivered on the nicknames last season, and this one was even better. So every coach had banger nicknames, but these are the ones we singled out as the best of the best. I won't be reading them because I don't care too much for Federal Prison, but they are all lovely anyway. And with that, we're officially ready to wrap up the season's award show. This is my first time doing a recording for these, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as the normal commentary. And seriously, thank you all for sticking with us through the season. I know it was very cursed at times, especially with scheduling. But yeah, until next time, Indigo, I've been Zoe, and I'll see you around.
So while this was a bit of an open secret, here's what playoffs bracket looks like for each division. Monkey Dory's playoffs bracket is sure to be a good one. This being the rookie div means you should always expect the unexpected. Okidogi's matches have a great mix of newcomers and veterans. No matter what happens, I'm sure this one's going to be historic. Fez div, as per usual, has a very stacked bracket. All of these matches have some real history behind them, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled. And finally, with our little losers bracket, here's the round ones for Krug. Because an uneven number signed up this time, Nana gets a bye. I couldn't predict these outcomes if I tried, so don't ask. With that, this concludes this presentation. This was very rushed and I have no idea if I'll ever do one of these again, so I hope you enjoyed it. Shoutouts to Zoe again for helping me with this project, and thank y'all for watching.